Hello children, welcome to grade 11 English lesson. So today also we are going to discuss a very important area for grade 11 students. I hope that you all will be with me for these few minutes and get some information to sit for the O-level exam with confidence. Okay, then let's see what we are going to discuss today. Just have a look at the screen. And that is competency 7, uses English creatively and innovatively in written communication. Right, now we are going to talk about competency level 7.4, writes instructions, and this is very important for you and you may get questions based on this, and also this is important not for the exam, for your future as well. Then let's go ahead and see. So at the end of this lesson you will be able to identify simple instructions, write simple instructions. So this is what you are going to learn today. And now let's see. We use the imperative form to give orders or commands, instructions and advice. We use imperative forms. Here some examples are there. Turn left and go straight on. And practice English for 30 minutes a day. If you have a look at these instructions, you just see the first word, turn, practice, start with a verb, and this is one easy way for you to get an idea how to write instructions or how to give instructions. Right. Now when we talk about instructions, there are two types of instructions. Just have a look at this. Instructions are of two types. One is do, the other one is don't. First one, use the pavement. That means you are asking them to do that. The other one is not to do, don't do. So you use don't at the beginning there. Don't use the phone while driving. So there are certain instructions you are asking them to do, and there are certain instructions you are asking them not to do. So you start with the verb, first one do, the other one using don't. And then some more examples here. Do's, right? Instructions. Walk on the pavement. Use the pavement. Keep the environment clean. And park at your own risk. Just have a look at these instructions. All started with a verb. So it's a very important one. Start with the verb and give the order. Walk, use, keep, park. So like that. So then it's very easy for you to understand how to give an instruction. And also don't. Don't use this side. Don't park here. And don't loiter here. So you see, things that you ask not to do start with don't. So it's very clear then these two types of instructions, do's and don'ts. And let's find the place where we can see the following instructions. So now in your exam you get these things, and you know these instructions can be seen in different places, maybe or in your school, laboratory, library and different places. So when you read the instruction you can understand where you can see these things. Sometimes in an exam you will be given these things and the places, and you will have to match or you will have to put the number. So then let's see that sort of an activity here. Let's find the place where we can see the following instructions. The instructions here, first one, don't use chemicals without teacher's permission. And remove your hat before entering. Put the waste into the dustbin. So there are some instructions given and the places given: temple, laboratory, canteen or hotel. So now when you read these kind of things, the words in that instruction will help you easily to catch the right place. So then you should be tactful. You know your vocabulary, your words, right? So then those words will definitely help. Now can you match these things with these instructions? Where can you see them in these places? Just try. I don't think that it is that much difficult. Let's see the answers. Yes, the first one, don't use chemicals without the teacher's permission. Place is laboratory, lab, science lab you tell in short in your school. So when you read the word chemicals, you can easily guess the answer. And the next one, remove your hat before entering. What is the place? It's very simple, temple. And put the waste into the dustbin, canteen, hotel. This can be seen in other places as well, but according to the places given here in this activity, that is the one matching for this. Okay. Now just have a look at another activity, that is, read the set of road rules to be followed by road users. Write the relevant rules against the different types of users. Different types of users. What? Road. Road users here, pedestrians and motorcyclists and car drivers. There are three types given. And also rule. Sometimes there are certain rules that go with only the pedestrians, and there are certain rules that the drivers should use. So then you can see some instructions and match them with these users. Now this is the table that you have to fill, and here are the set of road rules. Just read them please. Number 1, wear a helmet when riding. Number 2, use the pavement. C, wait for the green light to move forward. Slow down, school ahead. Wear your seat belt while driving. So now the words in these instructions will easily help. I think you can catch them and easily catch the place or the users who should follow these rules. For example, the very first one, wear a helmet. You know, when you walk on the road, you don't use a helmet, and when you drive a car, you don't use a helmet. So then easily you can guess who should follow that rule. Yes, the motorcyclist and one who is riding a bicycle. So likewise, there are certain words in this that will directly take you to the answer. Can you think of the users of these? Right, then have a look at this. Then pedestrians, use the pavement. Then the motorcyclist, wear a helmet when riding. Definitely it should go with the motorcyclist, the riders. And wait for the green light to move forward. Is it only for the motorcyclist? No, it goes with even the car drivers. Here you can see, wait for the green light to move forward. And slow down, school ahead. So there are certain instructions, both, I mean the motorcyclist or the car drivers, both should follow. So that comes in both. And finally, wear your seat belt while driving. You know that there are no seat belts for riders when you are riding a bicycle. So then it is going only for the seat belt car drivers. So likewise, when you get some instructions, the words in that instructions will directly take you to the answer. So you have to be very careful, read carefully and understand it, then it is very easy to get the answer. I am sure if you get a question like this, you can get all correct. And let's see this one. And if you are writing a set of instructions for a special purpose, so all the instructions that you read, you learnt earlier, are certain things just giving, do or don't, something like that. But if you are writing instructions for a special purpose, special thing, you can use the following words to order them. There are certain things, for example, how to make a cup of tea or how to make a kite. So there you can see a set of instructions. So that should have an order. What is to be done first, what is next, like that. So then to give that order, I am sure that these words will help you to give those instructions clearly. For example, the first one, first. What is to be done first? You can use the word first. And then next, after that, thereafter, later and finally. So then using these words you can give your instructions very clearly in order, right? Keep them in mind. And there's a small activity then. Simple instructions to replace a light bulb. Match them with the pictures. Here, how to replace a light bulb. There are some pictures and instructions are there. Can you match these instructions with the pictures? First one, it says, first turn off the electricity. Which picture? Second, remove the bulb. Then screw in the new bulb. And finally, turn the electricity on and switch on the light. You could see here the first word, first, second, then, finally. You see, if you use those words, you can tell easily the order. So can you match them with the pictures? Right? Okay, let's see the answers. Here you see, first you switch off, and then second you have to remove the bulb. Next, screw in the new bulb. Finally, turn the electricity on. Then you can see whether it's okay. So you see, now in this one you have to keep in mind the words, right? First, second, then finally, those words. And also, when you use them, these words then can be replaced with after that. Switch on the light, then remove the bulb. You can use instead of then, after that. So likewise, you can use different words as well. So I am giving some other examples, right? First, second can be replaced with firstly, secondly, or finally, like that. So you can use these words as well, so that your instructions will be very clear for the listener. And when you give instructions, you can give additional support as well. What are they? When you give instructions, you can help the other person with extra information and advice. So this will be helpful for your life. So remember, turn off the electricity before touching any cable. Some additional information, advice, helping the person who is going to do that. And be careful not to touch any live wire. So keep these in mind. That will help you for your life. And try to see if the bulb is broken or just loose. So that sort of words are also important for your life, maybe for the exam as well. And some other words. Try not to touch the bulb with your hands. You need to check wattage of the bulb first. So when you replace, and what is matching for that. And it's important to make sure the electricity is off. So those words will definitely help you in communication clearly with the other person. It helps to wait for the bulb to cool down before you remove it. Switch off the light and wait. Then be sure turn off the electricity before you touch the bulb. Always wear gloves when you touch a bulb. Never touch a socket with wet hands. So when you give instructions, you are not only just giving instructions, do this, do that, take this, take it, no. And some other information can be given so that you can make sure that the person who is following your instructions and he or she is following it with in a safe way, right? These also will help you for your communication. And then now, so you got some idea about writing instructions, and let's write instructions to make a Vesak lantern. Okay, right, based on what you listen, what you learn, let's do this activity. Let's write instructions to make a Vesak lantern which you can enjoy in your life. You will need 25 bamboo sticks cut into 25 centimeter pieces. So if you want a bigger one, you can make it longer. tissue papers of various colors, that depends on your choice, and glue, scissors and string for tying. So these are the things that you need to make a Vesak lantern. And now the instructions how to make a Vesak lantern. Instructions are given and also the pictures are there. Match the instructions with the pictures. Read the instruction and match it with the picture. So this sort of very simple activities are there for your exam as well. Let's read the first one. First, tie the bamboo sticks and make 6 squares. Tie the corners of 4 of the squares together to make a ring. Just have a look at the pictures, you can see it. Make a ring. Then take the 2 remaining squares and tie them to the top and bottom of the ring. So with these words you can easily guess which picture is going with which instructions. So there are 3 steps here and there are some more steps. Cut 4 squares and 8 triangles of what? With the color papers that you have. Glue the edges of your paper shape. Glue the edges and just have a look at the picture and paste the shapes on the bamboo frame. Hope you can understand the instructions and which picture is going with that instruction. Can you match them now? Yes, try. And there are 2 more steps to be done, right? And take a piece of tissue paper and cut not only just a Vesak lantern, you need some decorations and you can see them in the picture. Glue and paste it around the bottom square and the 4 edges. Finally, you are now ready to light it up. So can you match them with the instructions? I hope that you could guess what the picture going with the relevant instructions. Look at these answers. Did you get this like this? Alright, now you read the instructions and look at the pictures. Now did you get these answers like this? Could you match the first one with this one to make squares? First. Next, those 4 squares, now you have 6 squares, you 4 squares, you 4 of the corners together to make a ring. Then 4 of the corners, only the corners you take and make it a ring. It is not just exactly a circle, and with these squares you make a ring with 4 squares. Then finally take the 2 remaining squares. Now you took 4, the remaining 2 squares, one on the top, the other one bottom. So I hope that you could get the answers in this way. Look at the next step. Could you match the pictures with this? Hop the first one and cut 4 squares and 8 triangles. That is, you know, when you make the structure of the Vesak lantern, you have squares as well as triangles. And next one, glue the edges of paper shapes. So what you cut, you have to glue the edges. Next, paste the shapes like this. Hope that you got the answers. Okay, the next step. Could you get these answers and then paste them final, that is, and cut. You to decorate the Vesak lantern, you have to cut stripes, and then finally now you are ready to light it up. I hope that you could match the correct instructions with the correct picture. So now I think you can make a nice Vesak lantern in your next Vesak season. And there's another activity, something very interesting for you all. Let's make a cup of tea now. Write instructions looking at the pictures. Use the words given. And now you know how to write instructions, and you did an activity also, making a Vesak lantern, and using that knowledge try to write instructions for these to make a cup of tea. There are pictures and some words are also there for you to use to write instructions. So can you try? Here are the words: boil, water, put in, tea bag, the cup, hot water, pour, tea, steep. Use these things, and I told you at the beginning how to write instructions. So then using that knowledge, can you write instructions to make a cup of tea? Just have a look at this picture and try. Okay? Then shall we see the answers? First one, I told you when you tell certain instructions in order, you have to tell those words, you have to use those words, like first boil the water. You can see. Next, put the tea bag into the bottom of the cup. You can see. And next one, pour hot water over the tea. And next, let the tea steep. So then now you have made a cup of tea. So this is very easy now, but there are certain steps. So in that way also we give instructions. And now write instructions to keep your school garden beautiful. Now you know, you learnt how to write instructions to make a Vesak lantern, how to make a cup of tea, and using that knowledge, can you apply that knowledge here? You may use these words and write some instructions to keep your school garden beautiful. Can you try? The words given here: put, don't, pluck, sweep, keep off. Can you now write some instructions to keep your school garden beautiful? Could you get these? You may write some other things also. You may write like this: put litter into the dustbin, and don't pluck flowers in flower beds, and sweep the garden in the morning, and keep off the grass. Sometimes in schools there are certain areas you can see nicely grown grass. So then in that case you can see these kind of instructions. Keep off the grass. Hope you could write some instructions. I think you got some knowledge about how to write instructions. And so now let's see what we discuss today in this lesson as the summary. First we use the imperative forms to give orders or commands in instructions and advice. That means you start with a verb, eat, put, like that. And also we learnt do's and don'ts. There are two types of instructions. Some you ask them to do, some instructions are there to not to do. So there, first one you use use the payment using the verb at the beginning. The other one, don't use the phone while driving. So they are don'ts, do's and don'ts are there. And also finally we learnt, if you are writing a set of instructions for a special purpose. Special purpose we learnt how to make a Vesak lantern, how to make a cup of tea, like that. There you can use first, second, then, that sort of words to tell your instructions in order, so that the listener also can follow it easily. So in your exam, sometimes you will be given these kinds of instructions jumbled. So if you are aware of those words, you can easily find the order with the help of those first, second, that sort of words. So then I hope that you got a clear idea how to write instructions, and also you will follow instructions clearly. And if you get a question in this type, I think you will do it with confidence. So then hoping to meet you again with another good lesson, and I'll say goodbye for now. Thank you very much.